Today we're going to talk about something, well, it's a simple idea, but it's so powerful. It's all about how being in the right environment can make the difference between absolutely thriving and feeling like you're completely wasted.
So let me ask you this. Have you ever had that feeling, you know the one, where you know you have all this skill, this incredible potential, but you're just not in a place where it can really truly shine? It's that nagging feeling, right? That you're capable of so much more if you just had the right opportunity.
Well, if you ever felt that way, I can tell you right now, you are definitely not alone. It's this universal, deeply human thing. We all have this desire to feel like our skills are actually seen, that they're valued, and that they're making a real difference.
When you boil it all down, it's about that incredibly frustrating gap between what you can do and what you actually get to do. And believe it or not, there's a little story that just captures this feeling perfectly.
So let's dive into it. It's a simple little parable about a camel and a pretty huge lesson it learned about being in the right place.
Okay, so picture this. A mother camel and her baby are just chilling out, resting under a tree. And, the little one starts to get curious.
The baby camel looks up at its mom, and you can just imagine it staring at that giant defining feature, and it just asks, "Mom?" And the mother, she explains, "Oh, honey, that's not just for looks, it's our survival kit." She explains how the humps store fat that they can turn into water and energy, which is exactly what lets them survive in the super harsh conditions of the desert. But the baby's not done yet. It looks down at its own legs and asks, "Okay, I get the humps, but what about our legs? Why are they so long and, why are our feet so round and kind of weird?"
And again, the mother has a perfect, practical answer. She says, well, those are designed for one thing and one thing only: walking on sand. They let a camel just glide across the desert where pretty much any other animal would sink and struggle.
Okay, so the baby camel thinks for a second and then has just one last question. And what about our eyelashes? Why are they so incredibly long?
And the mother's final answer? It just ties it all together. She says, "Oh, those? They're the perfect shield against the sand and wind during a desert storm." So think about it. Every single part of a camel, from its head to its toes, is this absolute masterpiece of adaptation for one specific place on the entire planet.
So the baby camel is processing all this. It's like, wow, okay, so every single part of my body is this powerful, incredible tool with a very specific purpose. But this amazing realization leads to one last and kind of devastatingly simple question. If we're built for the desert, then why are we in a zoo? And boom. With that one question, the whole perspective shifts. All of those incredible strengths, these things that were perfectly designed for survival and mastery, well, in the zoo, they're suddenly just curiosities. They're just something for people to look at. And that right there, that's where the story stops being about camels and starts being about us. It's all about that critical link between our own unique talents and the environment we find ourselves in. So this brings us to this core idea of finding what we'll call the right place. And look, this isn't about finding the best job or the best city in some objective one-size-fits-all way. No way. It's about finding the specific environment where your unique skills, your personal strengths, aren't just useful, they're genuinely valuable.
I mean, just think about the difference here. It is night and day. In the desert, that's your right place. Your strengths are vital assets. Your potential is totally unleashed, and your purpose feels crystal clear. But in the zoo, the wrong place, those exact same strengths, they just become novelties. Your potential gets capped, and that sense of purpose, it just kind of gets lost.
So what's the big takeaway here? It's pretty clear, right? Your value isn't just about what you can do, it's about where you do it. Even the most amazing world-class abilities can go completely to waste if they're in the wrong context. The real challenge for all of us then is to actively seek out that environment, the right team, the right company, the right place that lets you be the camel in the desert.
And that really leaves us with one final big question to think about. The goal isn't to change your strengths, it's to find your desert. So take a second and really ask yourself, are you in your desert right now, or are you in the zoo?